Y'all make fun of me.
I know, no, listen, I got...
Sounds like everything's working. Check and all that. Play some quiet jazz music so we can turn in. Hey everybody, welcome. Yeah. Is it start time? Are you still waiting?
Hi, good morning. I think this is going to be our time. You know, people are going to kind of wander in and out. And if you guys have lunch, you know, 5B or 6A or anything like that, you want to run out and get some food and then come back. Don't bring the food back here. But, all right, you guys do that. Just kind of leave out the back. And hi. All right, so why is everybody here? Okay, we're here because I wanted you guys to listen to Matt Fisher. He's going to play some songs for you. He's going to talk to you about what it's like to be a performing singer-songwriter in this area. And you're also here because I know some of you guys are in my class, but some of you are not. I'm going to pass around this little clipboard. If you would like to learn how to do what Matt is doing, I teach a song writing course, thanks. And if you give me your name and your grade, I'll make sure that I do my best to get you in next year. And you can retake. Most of you guys know. You can take the advanced class next year. The second semester class, and that can be taken more than once. You ready, man?
I'm sure ready.
Okay, guys, can you welcome Matt Fisher?
Hello, everybody. Hey, guys. I'm Matt Fisher, and you are students at Mainland Regional. I see some faces from last year I recognize. What's going on, guys? So, yeah, what do I want to start with here? You know what? I'm going to start off with the same song I started off with last time. Got a question?
Yeah, good question. What happened to the drummer dude?
Oh, Zach, he's in Illinois. He couldn't make it. Yeah. You can email him and complain. Come back from New Jersey, what are you doing? So anyways, I'm going to start off with a song called Free. It's a song I wrote when I was possibly younger than some of you the same age. I wrote this song when I was 15 years old. Stand Yeah, that song was free. Like I said, I wrote that when I was 15. I wrote that upon the realization at 15 that, oh man, in 2 years I'll graduate high school, and then what? Holy, man, oh man. I was a little nervous about the idea of, you know, it's easy to complain about, oh, I hate that I'm in school and blah, 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 blah. But you get used to having that story. You get used to being able to complain about it. And then when the day comes when you can't, you have to kind of find a new story. That's kind of a interesting transition in your life. You know, now some of you are probably going to go to college, so you'll catch that 4 years after college. But at some point your education's done, and the story of I'm a student, man, school, blah, 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 ends, and then what? You know, you're free, and all you ever talked about is how you wanted to be free. At least that was my attitude. But then upon reaching this freedom, it was like, oh, this is a lot more work. This is all different work. There's like, I have to figure things out without being told. There's no enemy to fight.
You have a cold?
So I have a cold, yes. I recently the sniffing and the, yes.
You sound like you have a cold.
This is accurate. This is very true.
Oh, it's longer.
No, well, actually I kind of have a constant cold. I have really bad allergies, so.
What happened to the guitar you had last year with the duct tape?
Oh, the guitar I had last year?
Yeah,
well,
I like that one.
since I've been playing acoustic a lot more often, I had to upgrade because that one, like as you have mentioned, was duct taped together. And as much as I love duct tape and things that are held together by duct tape, unfortunately its durability wasn't what I needed for a full-time instrument. Any other questions involving duct tape, my personal health, anything? No? Okay. So hopefully you guys are newer up. New question.
Your song, Free, did you write exactly what you played when you were 15, or did you?
Pretty much, actually, it
Did
was.
you go back and revise it?
No, it was really weird. I like to call it the first real song I had ever written, and it was really weird because it kind of wrote itself. I was putting new strings on my guitar, and there's guitar players in the room. There's got to be. So yeah, there's different guitar players. All right. So when I put new strings on my acoustic guitar, my first chord I like to play is the G chord. I love the way G chord sounds with brand new strings. It's all fresh and tingly. I'm like, I love this chord. I was kind of testing the intonation, so I played G. Went to B minor, do some bar chords, went to E minor, D7. Just kind of like that, just checking the chords, make sure everything's in tune. I was like, that sounds really good. Just kind of doing this, going around, and then the word just popped in my head. Because I'm thinking about, you know, I was watching the Green Day Behind the Music, and Trey Cool, the drummer, talked about how it was interesting how they wrote a prom song. Their one song had become a very popular song, but somebody's prom song. So it got me thinking about my prom, my high school, and then I can recall when I wasn't so tall, and it just wrote itself. Not all songs are that easy, but that was one that just kind of wrote itself, and I was like, this is kind of good. I'm going to do more of these. So that was kind of my introduction into real songwriting, if you will. It was the first time I was writing about something that wasn't just a total nonsense story. But the odd part is now I try to write more about nonsense than back then. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe you get older and you realize that you want more nonsense. I don't know, but at the time I was trying to be mature or whatever. I don't know. The song still holds up though, I think. So anyways, on that note, let's see, want to play a new song or, you know, let's play a goofy song. Alright, someone mentioned earlier, this gentleman here, last time I had a drummer. Today I don't have one, so if you could be my drummers today, that'd be appreciated. So we're going to do some clapping here.
Oh my God.
Like that. You can bend in the chair. Stomp your fingers up. Like you gotta keep me in time here. His name is Joey, call him Officer A. He's not from here, he's from LA. He had a movie cause he fried his brain. From too much sunshine and cocaine. He was a producer of movies on top. Till all his movies were box office flops. And Officer A pulled me over today, so he can borrow and complain. Officer Reed. Good job, you guys are keeping us up. I like it. You guys are great drummers, you're hired. Now the boys, courage down and right after his Hollywood collapse. He had a record label, producing hip-hop. Till he could pay correctly, had to stop. Now he lives here and he's a cop. Busting kids first, smoking pot. And Officer Ray pulled me over today, so he can ride over and complain. He talks about the style that he used to know, and how they never answer the phones. Oh, Officer Ray, please let me go. If Officer Ray gives you all the tears, you are into the movies and he sees what they are. He's gonna say he knows the stars. And if you act like you don't believe, he's gonna fill your car with weed. And so to avoid arrest, you just act embarrassed. Do that? And Officer Ray up in the over today, so he can ride on and complain. He talks about the stars that he used to know, and how they never answer the phones. Oh, Officer Ray, please let me know. Officer Ray. Yeah, everybody, good job. You guys rocked it. That was quite a commitment some of you made. The whole song. That's impressive. Appreciate the commitment. So that song is, I guess we could call a story song. And it's ridiculous if you caught some of the lyrics. Basically, the idea of the story is it's about this gentleman who, this is sort of an anti-drug message. This is good for schools. It's about a gentleman that is a movie producer in Hollywood, California. And basically, due to excess drug use and just not being a very bright individual, he kind of destroys his career. And what got me thinking about this is how much I don't like any current movies. And I'm like, my thought was, how do these movies get made? These people must be so full of drugs and sunshine in California that they can't notice how terrible these movies are. So I just kind of think about how much I don't like kind of current movies. So I'm thinking, okay, so it's probably drug use. And then for some reason, waiting for a bus, I got excited about the idea of a story of a movie producer who loses his career because of drugs, then tries to make a hip-hop label, and that goes apart, and then he becomes a police officer. That's all I can give you. That's all the explanation I got for it. I don't know why. I don't know why that was so inspiring at the moment, but it was. I was waiting for a bus in New York City. That's what came to mind. So it's kind of a story song. I always wanted to write one. And also, the way it starts off, his name is Joey, call him Officer Ray, was inspired by the Beatles, Rocky Raccoon. How every character in the story, their name isn't their name, like, her name was Jill. She called herself Lil, but everyone knew her as Nancy. So I like that idea of kind of having a character whose name isn't their name. So I don't know, it's kind of exciting. Any questions about that song? Anybody? No? Perhaps? Okay, moving along. Alright, so I'm going to play a newer song. For those of you that were here last year, this song wasn't written yet. And this song is kind of about what I mentioned earlier, how you're out of high school, you're a high school student stories. Well, this song is kind of about trying not to make your identity into a story and making it to this big deal, you know. Just kind of doing your best to be present and accept things the way they are in the now. I'll spend a little more on it. We all have this identity we call our lives. It's quite the affliction, maybe more of an addiction, and it's worse than a needle or a bottle or a line. Let go of yourself, let go of yourself, and get to know you. Let go of yourself, let go of yourself, and it'll show you that what you love one day becomes the burden. Let the burden be what sets you free, and the joy will turn into the hurting. But you will see and you will be free. 'Cause when you think when, where, and how, you forget all about right now. The only thing there really is. What I'm trying to say is you might know tomorrow, but you'll only ever feel today. Let go of yourself, let go of yourself, and get to know you. Let go of yourself, let go of yourself, and let it show you that what you love one day becomes the burden. Let the burden be what sets you free, and when the joy turns into the hurting, oh, you will see and you will be free. 'Cause all those voices in the head playing games again, or do they always bring us down? And all those voices in their head telling lies again, why don't they just quiet down? Quiet down. Let go of yourself, let go of yourself, and get to know you. Let go of yourself, let go of yourself, and let it show you that what you love one day becomes the burden. Let the burden be what sets you free, and when the joy turns into the hurting, oh, you will see and you will be free. Oh, 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 oh. I don't have the title for that song. Anyways, let's read some of the lyrics there. Okay, so the very beginning, the lyric goes, we all have this identity we call our lives. Alright, so first off there, for the most part, this is, a point of view I've adopted is that most of our life is kind of a story. Like I said earlier, it's an identity. Most of the events that happen in our life are just circumstances. They're things that happen, events. But we turn the events into stories. Like, alright, for example, who here has forgotten to do their homework today? I can identify this. I just about never did homework in high school, so. Alright, okay. So at some point, this will become a story. When your teacher goes, where's your homework? It's going to become a story. It's going to go from, I didn't do my homework to, well, I didn't do my homework because blah, 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 and this happened, and, I'm busy, and I got all this stuff going on, blah, blah, blah. Go to the fact, turns into a story. Don't have my homework, turns into this dramatic thing. And it becomes kind of stressful because your heart's beating fast because you're kind of feeling that fight or flight mentality a little bit. Because you're like, man, oh man, I don't want to get in trouble. Oh man, I don't want them to call my parents because, oh man, they're already mad at me already. Man, this is no good, this is no good. Notice the story unfolding. It went from an event, a circumstance, I didn't do my homework, to a bunch of stories and ideas flying through your head at rapid speed. Am I crazy here? Has anyone else ever done this? Right? Now what's happening here, this is the result of time. I have two ways of looking at life, being used by time and using time. An example of using time, when you're enjoying yourself, you're doing something that you like, you're using time. When you're sweating the details, you're being used by time. For example, when my homework isn't done story comes up, all the stories happen in past and future. I didn't do it, blah, 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 because this, that, and oh man, what's going to happen as a result? There's no attention to what's happening right now. And that's what's freaking you out, the past and future problem. There's also another lyric in there, the second verse. Because when you forget when, where, and how, you forget all about right now, the only thing there really is. Now what that means is that I'm not saying you should never acknowledge the past and the future. They have their place. But we spend a lot of time really focusing on past and future and not right now. And the funny part is that all we can ever do is live right now. Like, as much as we might try to prepare for the future, largely it's out of our hands. Which doesn't mean you shouldn't prepare at all. You can prepare now, but don't mentally project yourself into that place where things are going wrong, or at the same time, mentally project yourself to an overconfident place where everything's going perfectly. You know, things will come as they come, you know, take it one day at a time, if you will. And then the other line is what I'm trying to say is you might know tomorrow, but you'll only ever feel today. Right there is back to the theory that tomorrow is an idea. We've never lived in tomorrow. We've only ever lived here today. Tomorrow is a thought, it's a dream. We can talk about tomorrow, but it's never real. Tomorrow is this idea, again, back to it's a story. You know, most of our lives end up being story. And as a result, because we have so much stories, we kind of skip out in our life. We're not really living it most of the time. We're so caught up between being upset about what has happened or worried and excited about what will happen, we're not really often involved in what's happening. You know, we end up, again, that's to me being used by time, is when you're unable to focus on right now, the only thing you have. The only time you'll ever really experience is right now. Everything else is just an idea, a thought, a dream, a story. So then the next line is let go of yourself, let go of yourself, and get to know you. But that means let go of yourself. It's kind of the idea being that your ego is obsessed with time, you know. Your ego, like, for example, to compare implies a type of time. Like, I am better or worse than this person is a comparison based on time. It's not you acknowledging where you're at this moment, it's you kind of comparing, which is the result of time. So again, being used by time sort of discontinues when you're able to, again, let go of yourself. Take your story and accept that it's only a story and not make it such a big deal. Accept the outcome, accept the circumstance. You know, not make it such a big deal. Certainly in high school, I did not have this mentality, even a little bit. My entire life was this big dramatic story. Everything was a struggle. These kids are jerks. I don't like my teachers, blah, blah, blah. You know, I was, you know, which, again, I'm certainly not going to encourage you to stop doing it, because had I not done that, I wouldn't be in the place I am now. But that mentality, that, you know, constant watching the clock, man, I can't wait to be out of school, man, I hate being here, I hate being here. You're wasting so much time. You're being used by time doing that. You're being used by time. You could at least enjoy the absurdity of high school, at least. You know, you're here. You're here now. That's all you can be. So enjoy the time you have here now. Don't be used by time. Use your time. At least enjoy the nonsense of high school, if nothing else. So, so let go of yourselves kind of, again, being able to let go of superficial things, everything. Anything that's, again, influenced by time. I got this grade, it was good, it was bad, blah, 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 blah. It is what it is. You got the grade you got. You know, again, observe the facts, not the stories. A great example of that, also, a book that I'm a big fan of is called A New Earth by an author called Eckhart Tolle. And he mentions the difference between story and fact. Someone that has 50 cents in their bank account has 50 cents in their bank account. But most people will turn that into a story, my life is ruined. Your life isn't ruined, you just have 50 cents in your bank account. And if you want to improve upon that situation, you have to acknowledge the facts, as opposed to complaining about what has happened or what should happen. So that's kind of the gist of that song there, which kind of is a theme that follows in a lot of my music. So anyways, moving along to another song.
Oh, good Marina. Love you, Greg.
Robots. Robot technology. The robot's behaving now. Is that better? Alright, cool. So anybody have any questions about that song before I move on? Anybody? Yes, no? No? Cool. Alright, move along. This next song is a great example of what it feels like to be used by time. This is a song I wrote when I was very much used by time. Has anybody here ever gone on Six Flags Great Adventure?
Yeah.
My brother had it.
Yeah, that's why I always wear this name tag, never to forget. As has been pointed out, here's a name tag. I once worked at this job. Talk about a step on the ego. Alright, I was 18 working at Six Flags Great Adventure. I'm working in an area called the Extreme Booth, where people have to pay to get on rides. which they're already disgruntled about being online all day in the hot sun, and they paid $40 to get in, and now I'm telling them we have to pay extra to go on the go-karts. They're not happy about me, not even a little. So I'm in there hearing all these people go, "Bro, what do you mean, dude? What do you mean I paid $45 to get in here. What do you mean, bro, I can't get in the ride for free? What are you saying? It's Six Flags." So hearing that about, 1,000 times a day is not the most inspiring situation to be in. So I would keep my eye on the clock because I could not wait to be at work. And it was so difficult because the clocks all worked on Army time. You guys know what that is? So I'm like trying to read Army time, like, is it 4 o'clock? Is it 7 o'clock? What time is it? When am I going home? So I'm freaking out, and I'm thinking to myself, a year ago, because I had been in this band called the Sly Caps, who were on an MTV show called Made. And the year prior, I was playing TRL. I was kind of famous. And now I'm in this booth of torture, where everyone's just yelling at me, and I'm like, man, don't go on the go-karts, stop getting so mad, So anyways, so when this happens, I'm being used by time, so I'm thinking this. I can feel the seconds turning into minutes, and I can feel the minutes turning into hours. I can feel the hours turning into days, into weeks, months and years. And I can feel the pressure getting heavy. Yes, it's really starting to stick, 'cause the clock, it keeps on moving, yeah. It's always gonna tick. 'Cause oh yes, I am not getting any younger. I'm only getting older and more afraid. And oh yes, I am not getting any younger. I'm only getting older and more insane. Oh, 'cause the clock doesn't stop when I do, and I don't think it's going to. I don't want to live like this forever. Oh no, the clock doesn't stop when I do, and I don't think it's going to. I need to get my life together. Maybe I should be what's expected of me, and go to college, get myself a degree. And now let's play it safe and just forget about my art, and get a piece of paper and tell the whole world that I'm smart. Oh yes, I'm not getting any younger. I'm only getting older and more insane. And oh yes, I'm not getting any younger. I'm only getting older and more insane. Oh, 'cause the clock doesn't stop when I do, and I don't think it's going to. I don't want to live like this forever. Oh no, the clock doesn't stop when I do, and I don't think it's going to. I need to get my things together. Oh, oh, oh. Alright, buddy. Time to join the band again. And you guys are awesome. It's my philosophy. We're all in the same band. I'm just here to remind you. And I can feel the seconds turn into minutes, and I can feel the minutes turn into hours. I can feel the hours turn into days, into weeks, months and years. And I can feel the pressure getting heavy. Yes, it's really starting to stick, because the clock keeps on moving, yeah. It's always gonna tick. But oh yes, I am not getting any younger. I'm only getting older and more insane. And oh yes, I am not getting any younger. I'm only getting older and more insane. Now why not? The clock doesn't stop when I do, and I don't think it's going to. I don't want to live like this forever. Oh no, the clock doesn't stop when I do, and I don't think it's going to. I need to get my life together. Stop. Yeah, good job, everybody. Cool.
You're
Right.
my cutie.
Thanks, I do my best, you know. I shaved today for this. It was a big deal. I always shave her out. You have a question?
I have to say that's definitely, I was here last year for it,
Right.
and that's definitely my favorite song.
Ah, well, thank you, thank you. Well, that's an example, because I think it's something we can all identify with. Being used by time, that's an example of that. When you're sweating the seconds, I mean, I remember high school. Being here almost puts me back in high school mode, because I remember looking at that clock being like, what time? In my high school, I got out at 2:15. I don't know what time you guys get out. Remember, 2:39. What is it? 2:39. See how well you guys know? That's because you guys are being. That's how well you're being used by time. You know what time that bell rings. Yeah, you're looking at that clock. I know what that is, but that's the thing, that's an example of, you're not there when you're looking at the clock. You're not, I mean, there's something funny probably happening in that classroom, because high school is pretty funny. It's pretty funny. And you're missing out on it when you're kind of, oh, God, I gotta get out of here, oh, man.
Yeah, thank
You're missing some funny stuff. The idea of high school, it can be quite a humorous and enjoyable experience. I wouldn't know, because that's not the way I approached it, but in hindsight, I look back and I realize I could have gone that route, and I'm trying to influence the youth to maybe make the same decision. But again, ultimately, more in the service of being present, being here now. Again, that's all there is now. You know, doesn't mean you can't do things to prepare for the future, but if you're doing it out of the present, you're always going to sabotage yourself some way or the other. Cool. So with that, any other questions or comments about that song?
What made you like change the lyrics? Because I have a CD and like.
Oh, I don't. That's a funny thing you mentioned. You're probably referencing the chorus where I say I need to get my life together. That's actually because I don't remember the words. I'm not gonna. No, there's no artistic thing there. I'm really bad at remembering words, even my own. I don't know. I'd like to say there's like an artistic or something fancier than that, but yeah, I just don't remember those words. I wrote a lot of songs now. I don't remember all the words, so sometimes I make up new ones. Yes, that's exactly why it was taped.
Can I
Okay.
give you autograph?
Can I have my autograph?
Yeah.
I
Me
mean,
too.
sure. Can I do it when I'm done, though?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet, cool. All right.
Can I have yours too?
Sure. And by the way, speaking of CDs, I do have them over there. They look nice. They're very fancy. I didn't bring them last time because I often forget things like lyrics and CDs. What's that? What are you going to do with it?
I'm gonna give it to my mom.
To your mom? Do you think your mom's going to be into that? I mean, I don't know your mom, but my mom would be horribly disturbed if I came home from high school and said, Mom, I saw this guy singing songs and I have his hair.
Every one of our hair. Every single person.
Really? Oh, your mom collects locks of
Yeah,
hair?
she comes to the school and cuts it off. Keep playing music.
Alright, that's a little less weird. I mean, if you really want, I mean, it's kind of a jungle up here. If you want to take the plunge, you're welcome to go ahead. What's that?
I got a clipping from the back.
Sure, whichever part, man. If you want to make that move, you're welcome to go ahead. My hair grows back fast, and it never looks good, so this is how it looks all the time. When it's clean, when it's dirty, this is just how it is, so cool. Alright, so any other questions? I like his questions. They always involve, like, so far locks of hair, whether I'm cold. I like it. He's interested in hygiene. I respect that. He's a good man for that. Good man. We'll give him a round of applause. Yeah. Alright, cool. Alright, guys, so any questions about that? Any other questions? No? Yes?
No.
Going to move along. Okay, cool. Alright, what do I want to play next? This is why set lists are useful. Trying to think. Alright, I know what I'll go to now. Here's another thing that definitely is identifiable in high school. Girlfriend, boyfriend nonsense. Who's got a little bit of that? Who's got it?
Who doesn't?
Who's got it? Raise their hands for, I'm going to guess the two of them over there is working out well. So, I'm going to assume. But out of curiosity, which ones are in situations that aren't working out to desired outcome? Okay. Okay, you don't need to raise your hands, but those who are in that situation know who you are. Okay, so this is a song that I played last year. It's called It's Too Late. Now this is about another interesting thing that happens I've noticed in human behavior, is that we tend to not actually fall in love with people, we become addicted to an idea of a person. And what happens is we first meet this person, they do a couple things we like, and they make us happy. So in our head we create an association that this person equals happiness. I need to be around this person more often. So we spend that time, and because we're still drunk off that initial experience, we've sort of bypassed the actual person, because we have the version we made in our head that goes, well, this person makes me happy. This isn't really them right now. They're in a weird mood, because they just make me happy. And for a little while, relationships are kind of a break from the noise in your head. But after a certain time, they become part of the noise in your head. And you're noticing, you know, wait a minute, this person's kind of a jerk. Wait a minute, how did I miss this whole time? Like, they're not really nice to me, or nice to anybody for that matter, but I've been so into them. I don't know why. Because you weren't into them to begin with. You were addicted to the idea of them. A fake identity. So I'm going to play this song, and I'll go through some of the lyrics after the fact and explain a little more what I mean by that. What's going through your head? And have you listened to a word I said? What's on your mind? It's why it's a bad time. And I won't hear me and listen clearly. Girl manifested in your head, don't you get it that she's dead, she's never coming back. And the girl that she used to be friends with, there's a striking resemblance, but they're not the same girl. And if she was, what would you do? 'Cause if she was, it's too late for you. It's too late, it's too late. Oh. It's hard to confess, we fall in love with people that we manifest inside of our heads, inside of our heads. And they won't hear me and sing clearly. Oh. The girl manifested in your head, don't you get it that she's dead, she's never coming back. And the girl that she used to be friends with bears a striking resemblance, but they are not the same girl. And if she was, what would you do? 'Cause if she was, it's too late for you. Get over it, get over it, get over it, get over it. Oh, cha-cha-cha, oh, the girl manifested in your head, don't you get up that she's dead, she's never coming back. And the girl that she used to be friends with bears a striking resemblance, but they are not the same girl. And if she was, what would you do? 'Cause if she was, it's too late for you, it's too late, and it's too late. Oh. That's all I do call the Beatles tour, by the way. That's some top Beatles in there. Chuck?
It's almost 6 months. If anyone has to split to get something to eat, this would probably be the chance to do that. Probably not the best.
It's all good.
Okay.
For the food folks, make a move. Gotta get your nourishment. Thanks, Later. All right, cool. Everybody's going to lunch. Everybody's going to lunch. Susanna?
Well, at least I knew what I was there. Oh, yeah, that was good. Yeah. Can you do one for my mom?
Susanna, and my autograph is awesome. I apologize.
To my
I have the
mom.
worst handwriting ever.
Who cut your hair?
Hey, Wyatt.
My mom.
$10.
My mom.
What is your name?
Nicole.
Oh,
You wait.
Nicole's
Oh, wait.
mother.
Or my mom. I know. She was like, yeah. He wanted to sit with me. Your second one is going to cut.
Blocking the camera.
Oh my gosh. It's like more, this is what we call it 1, 5, 6
I know you told me you got it. That's for them.
I can't really eat them now, they're going to play. I'm not putting down the pastry, so can't do it.
Hey guys, if you just kind of cruise your way on in here, this is Matt Fisher. He's going to perform some songs for you. He's going to...
Just kidding.
But you should set up... Oh. And I'm going to be passing this around. If you're interested in my songwriting class, please put your name and your grade on this. And if you guys have questions for Matt, I'd love to answer them.
I put Jesus.
Wait, can you guys get another round for Matt Fisher? One of them being...
Alright everybody, for those of you just joining us, as Mr. Penza announced, I am Matt Fisher. Alright, so I should probably kick it off with another song. I'm trying to think, what do I want to play now? I do covers, I'll probably visit a few.
Yeah, Pasha, get your hands out of here.
Alright.
I think we're all good down here.
If y'all get seated. Alright, cool. I definitely can and I will. But not this one. The first one I'm gonna do one that I know. Alright. So earlier everybody was talking about time, blah blah, you hate me. You want to eat me. That's a little suggestive for a high school class, don't you think? Well, thanks. Thanks for that. This guy. He's an interesting guy over here. Alright, so anyways, this song is called Still Got You on My Mind. And like two of the other songs earlier, I need you guys to join the band. Sorry. Committed clappers. There's usually the clapping is done by now. I love it. Thank you. It doesn't make any sense. I'm just spinning in my head and I can't get shit out. 'Cause when you show up, and I can feel my heartbeat getting faster. An explanation, some kind of explanation. Oh, did you do? I don't know, 'cause I still got shit on my mind. Was it true? I think so, and I can't think of the reason why you're on my mind. Alright, clap solos, all you. Everybody just joining us, please clap along, clap along. Everybody do one, it's a group clap. It's a team effort, yeah? Hang on, no, go once, go once. You can stand for seat, three, whatever, it's creative. Go for it. Very good. Oh, what did you do? I don't know, 'cause I still got shit on my mind. Was it voodoo? I think so, 'cause I can't think of any other reason why. Yeah! Again, the clapping, you guys are excellent. What's going on, everybody back there? My name is Matt Fisher, if you're just joining. I'm here to talk about songs. Right, so that last song was called Still Got You on My Mind.
No question.
Go ahead.
Your last name Fisher is
I'm good? I like singing. I mean, it's not my name, but I like the letter. It's a fine letter. I like the chord.
I like C-Mod. I'm gonna go with C-Mod. There you go.
They're both good. They're both
my name has a
So anyways, so that last song is called Still Got You on My Mind. And back to what I was saying earlier, the being used by time. It's a great example. A lot of the times what makes the whole relationship issue hard is the comparison thing. Again, you're not even as bummed that it broke up. You're more bummed that you're just focused on the story. Focused on the, I used to be with this person. Why are they still on my mind? That's a great example right there of a moment in my life where I was obsessed with my own story. I was obsessed with, why am I still thinking about this particular person? Why won't like, this doesn't make sense, it isn't fair. And at the time I didn't really understand it. Now looking back, I realized it was an addiction to an idea of a person. I was like, I couldn't understand it because I knew I didn't get along with them anymore. I knew that it wasn't the right situation, but yet I still missed them. And I realized that when you can't stop doing something that you don't, if you're in the midst of doing something you don't like and you can't stop, that is addiction. Addiction is when you're doing something you know is bad for you, you don't want to do it, but you keep doing it. And I realized that was my beginning of the awareness that I was addicted to a person. And again, still got you on my mind. Not present, a great example of being caught up in time. It's still, I'm holding on to the past too much. And that's what made it an issue. Now before I go into any more lyrical nonsense, there's got to be some guitar players that want to know some guitar nonsense here, like chord choices, blah, 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 blah. Go ahead.
Remember that song we did like 2 ago? Were you figure style? You were hitting and like that.
Like this?
Yeah. I thought you were using that thing. I was like, what?
Not yet, I was gonna pick. Thanks. Cool. All right. So, any questions about that stuff? Any musicians here? And, not actually. It's funny you mention that. The Violent Femmes, who I do like, that's not. They weren't really on my mind. Still got your mind. They weren't on my mind. Anyways. I hear it is very go. Yeah. Actually, let's break down the inspiration for that. Has anybody ever seen the movie That Thing You Do?
Yeah.
I love that movie, and there's a song in it, yeah, that goes like this. I'll show you how I came with that guitar line. If I could have just one request, stay with me, girl, I confess, all my lonely dreams. So musically, I like the way this sounded, that like leading. It's very satisfying. So I thought, what if I did it backwards? What if I take some of the notes out, because I want to play this on my electric guitar, so it's going to be noisy. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm into that. And then the hook kind of just took myself over. I mean, that's an example. Again, some songs literally just write themselves. The lick happens, and then the song gets written. Other songs, again, not so easy. The song I played earlier went like this. I've been working on that probably for about a year. It's in all these different parts. And sometimes what will happen is, as a songwriter, sometimes we tend to focus on similar themes. Like certain themes, be it, for example, let's see, a guy like Dashboard Confessional. I don't know if you like him at all. I'm not a huge fan of his, and the main reason I never got into him is because he, in my opinion, is too stuck on one theme. Every song he's ever had that I've ever heard is him being upset about a brick. That seems to be the only dimension he has. And when I listen to songwriters, I'm okay with them focusing on topics, but I like to see different dimensions. And he just had that one dimension. It was very boring for me. However, I have to say I'm quite guilty myself sometimes. You get hung up on topics. Sometimes it's the same thing that keeps you thinking. Certainly romance can be one of those things, or as I like to say, generally not romance, addiction to an idea of a person. Just different stuff kind of gets you going. And that was a great example of that song. Lost my train of thought here completely. What was I rambling about? Songs, right. This is songwriting class, right? Thanks, you're on top of things. So anyways, that was a great example of an idea of a song that kind of wrote itself. And that topic, again, the addiction to the idea of a person is on my mind a lot, so that song happened. Cool. All right, lost my train of thought there, so we're going to move along. Completely. What's that? I've never written about reptiles. I want me to write about a reptile right now? I'm going to write about a reptile right now. What reptile do you want me to write about? Turtles? Alright, you guys are going to... Alright, we're going to write a song about turtles. Okay, so we're going to do some basic music theory knowledge here. Okay. A major scale sounds like this. Oh, you have a question? Or no, you're just holding your hand up. Okay. So we're going to do some basic music theory stuff. Okay. This is the major scale. It sounds like this. Alright? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to take 1, 4, 5. Use those chords. We're going to make a song about a turtle. Okay, so what...
I want it about to be a turtle and a lizard and to make a baby.
The turtle and the lizard that create a new reptile. A tizzy. Okay. Now what kind of song, what style of music? You want a sad song, upbeat song? What style? Upbeat? Alright. We'll do it like in the style of like we'll do like a Jack Johnson feel like that. That might get me in trouble. One day there was a turtle walking around in his habitat, and he came upon a lizard, and he said, how about that? You're awfully attractive even though you're not my kind. Oh. So the turtle said, what you doing later, lizard? Well, I'm supposed to hang out with my parents, but they've been ignoring me lately, so maybe I'll ditch that and hang out with you. And the turtle said, alright, let's hang out. We'll go for a walk in the pond. Because I'm a turtle, that's what I like to do, hang out in ponds, you know what I'm saying? Though the lizard was apprehensive at first, the lizard thought, well, I can never introduce you to my parents because my parents forbid me to date anything but a lizard. The lizard knew it was a good idea and went for it. them down there apprehensive at first. They were wild and by his turtle Sean. And some years later, they got married, and the idea came up, let's have a kid. You said lizard turtle having a kid. You didn't say they couldn't get married.
No, mama drama.
Baby mama drama? Okay, well, we're right, okay. So it turned out that, alright. So they got married, but nobody else knew. It was a shotgun wedding, because what happened was, a turtle got that lizard pregnant. And now they're having a tizard. Now they're having a tizard. Now they're having a tizard. Tizard, 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 tizard. All right, give me a second. Tizard, 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 tizard. I need the backup vocals here. Go a shot. Tizard, everybody. Tizard, tizard. If you can't sing, it doesn't matter. Just sing tizard, 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 tizard. Oh, they're having a tizard. Oh, they're having a tizard. Oh, oh. There we go.
That sounds like a song Dean would love that one.
Yeah, I think that was a good one. That's a good one. We should record that. The name of our band. What do we want to call our band? Because you guys are all in it now.
Iron Bible.
The Tizards? Can you be the? You can't have the name of the song of your band, can you? Is that a
Violent Tizards.
The Violent Tizards?
T-Pash.
Oh, does Tenacious D have a song called Tenacious D?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they. Matt Fisher and Roofle of Children. Alright, let me do it. Alright, so when I'm not writing songs about reptiles and writing songs about whatever I write about, I'm obviously listening to music. Obviously, before I decided to write songs, I listened to them. So now I'm going to go over a little bit of my influences and play a couple songs of theirs. One of my major influences, a pretty obvious one, is the Beatles. I don't think there's anybody that's not influenced by the Beatles, and if they say they're not, they just don't know who the Beatles are because they've influenced somebody they like. Yep, also Elvis Costello. Anybody here know who Elvis Costello is? Yeah. Elvis Costello, he's one of my favorite guys ever. Ben Folds is another guy I like a lot. Bob Dylan. Actually, the band that got me started at all was Nirvana. Nirvana was my first favorite band. Nirvana was the band that said to me... What's that? John Lemons? I don't think I know John Lemons. I know John Lennon of the Beatles and John Legend, but I don't know about John Lemons. It's confusing. Is there a John Lemons? There should be a band on John and L's that sound like Lemons. That should be not allowed. Alright, cool. So, I'm going to play a couple covers just to give you an idea of, you know, songs I like, and also something I realized over the years performing music. What got me into writing songs as opposed to doing a lot of covers, which is very popular where I'm from, is that, you know, when I'm singing, I like to believe what I'm singing. And sometimes I don't have an easy time identifying with someone else's story. You know, like I said, I'm obsessed with my own story as we were all obsessed with our own stories. So for me, it's kind of, you know, I wanna sing a song that I believe what I'm singing. So there's the artists that really got me going were artists that wrote songs that I could have sworn they knew me personally. And that's one of the great types of songwriting, is where you hear a song and you go, how did they know that this was happening to me? How did they know that? I love this guy. This guy's great. Or woman, or turtle, songwriter, whatever you know. Cool. So anyways, I'm going to sing these are a couple slower songs. First one I'm going to sing is an Elvis Costello song. And I won't say this, it wasn't necessarily the lyrics that caught me at first, it was his vocal delivery. That's another thing I really like. Is music's one of those fascinating things where I think it weds, you know, your primitive feelings and intellect very well. Because there's that certain primitive aspect of music that's very rhythmic and like you want to sing along. And if you think about it, a good show you go to, isn't that more advanced than like cavemen banging around and chanting? You know, it's kind of the same idea except more equipment, you know, if you think about it. So this song really, the vocal delivery really influenced me. I love the way he delivered the vocal. So I'm going to get into my crooner face. Deliver a nice little ballad. This is called Allison. And I hope I get the words right. Oh, it's so funny to be seeing you after so long, girl. With the way you look, I understand that you were not impressed. I heard you left that little friend of mine slip up your powder dress. I'm not gonna get too sentimental like those other sticker valentines. I just know that you've been loving somebody, and I only know it isn't mine. Oh, Ellison, I know this world is killing you, and Ellison, my aim is true. I hear you got a husband now. You take your pretty fingers right on through the wedding cake. You used to hold him right in your hand till he took all that he could take. Sometimes I wish that I could stop you from talking when I hear the silly things that you say. I think somebody better put on a big light, 'cause I can't stand to see you this way. Oh, Ellison, I know this world is killing you. Ellison, my aim is true. My aim is true. My aim is true. That was kind of like out. Like I said, what really caught me there. What's funny is that Elvis really does write great lyrics. There's some great lyrics there, but his vocal delivery really caught me. Now back to another thing. When I sing a cover song, generally now especially, there's one cover I like to sing a lot. It's actually probably my favorite song. It's "Somewhere Over the Rainbow." We all know that song, right? Good old Judy Garland, Wizard of Oz. But what I like about that song is because when I sing it, I've kind of I don't know what it's actually about. I don't know if it's actually about a rainbow.
It's about drugs.
Is it about drugs? Well, in my head, I like to reinvent it. When I sing it, I like it to be about, you know, the idea of, maybe it's because I'm reading Sid Harther, which is an interesting novel, but it's the idea of finding your perfect place, finding your, as they call it in the spiritual realm, your center, or in Christianity, salvation, or whatever religious thing. They all talk about this moment, this perfect place that we all go to. And Somewhere Over the Rainbow is definitely an interesting way of looking at that I like. You know, the idea of finding utopia. Cool. So anyways, there's a bell ringing. And it's a C. You can see. Alright, cool. This is Judy Garland's song. I do it a little different than she does. She's a little bit better of a singer than I am. Upon a star and wake up with the clouds of fire behind me. Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chilly tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow blue, birds fly. The birds fly over the rainbow. Why, oh, then why can't I? If all those little bluebirds fly away above the rainbow, oh why can't I? Oh why can't I? Oh why can't I? Oh why can't I? I mean, what makes it work is, even though I know it's technically not my song, I have a theory that the songs that are good songs are everybody's songs. I have another theory I like to call it, we're all in the same band. I keep referencing that. You know, it's kind of, that's my theory. We're all in the same band, and all the other bands are just side projects that remind us about the band we're all in. And we don't always get along, it's true. This band, this worldwide band, argues and fights a lot. But so did the Beatles, and they were awesome. So it's kind of, I like to think of that. That's how I like to connect myself to the world. We're all in the same band, and every time I write a song, If it's a good song, it just works because it reminds everyone else about the band. And you think about it, all the good shows, I don't know how many have gone to see some great shows, but the best shows I ever go to are the ones where the band disappears, the audience disappears. It becomes a giant entity, kind of like when we're all clapping together. I try to push the image of audience performer away. I like to imagine that we're all connected, we're all the same band. Even right now when I'm talking to you, I don't like to think that I'm lecturing or telling you anything. I'm just kind of, you're being polite band members that are allowing me to rant, you know? So that's kind of how I like to think of it, which kind of keeps you from getting nervous, I guess. Do you have another question? Does it involve lizards, locks of hair, personal health, or anything like that?
No, I just want to apologize.
Yeah, man, we're all in the same band. Not everyone's part of the reminding projects, however. All the different bands that have happened, I like to refer to as reminding projects. Like the Beatles are the best reminding project we've had so far, I think.
What about Matt Fisher and the Little Children?
We're also a reminding side project about the global band.
Alright, I'm gonna follow you around the world now, wherever you go.
I mean, I travel a lot, man. If you can hack it, I mean, go for it.
I'll do it.
I mean, it's kind of hard. Don't you go to high school? I mean, isn't that kind of a...
That doesn't matter.
Yeah? All right. Okay. All right, cool. So moving along, this next song I'm going to play is called Die Like We Never Lived. Now, earlier I talked about the whole thing being used by time. Some of us that are joining us, I'm going to reiterate. I have a way of looking at life. There's using time and being used by time. When you're sweating the clock and sweating the details, you're being used by time. I mean, you don't have a lot of time. I mean, the longest lifespan, you know, if you're lucky, is like 116, 120 years. I think that's like the longest we've had so far. Maybe 130, which is kind of a long time, but I tell you what, again, back to that whole all there is now thing, by the time you're there, it won't feel that way, because you don't experience past or future, you experience one now, time, here. So when you're 100 or whatever, you're still going to feel like, man, there's a lot of stuff I want to do. But what happens is, again, being so worried about what's up ahead and so bothered by what has happened to us, generally we get used by time. And we're not living, we're anticipating, worrying, and holding grudges. So this song is kind of about the need to change as a human race for survival, because we're awfully violent lately with lots of really, really high-tech weapons. If we're going to make it, we really got to kind of, again, positive attitude is my personal feeling, the evolution of the race is that we're going to all just kind of start to get along. I don't know how or why, but it's just going to happen. Maybe I'm an insane optimist, but hey, why not? Why can't I believe that? Really, it's not going to make a difference to me. I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime, but I think it's possible. It's a nice thought. Anyways, but to reach that, really we need to stop being used by time. We have to live our lives, not, obsess about them, if that makes any sense. And accept that a lot of the things we worry about are truly out of our hands. As much as we like to think we're in control, we're not in total control. The things we are in control of, make your moves. Change what you can. But what you can't, you gotta let go of. So the song's kind of about that. Tell me when it's over. Tell me when it's just begun. Tell me that I'm normal. Tell me I'm the crazy one. I walk a fine line these days between practical and insane. I'm just so tired of worrying about things that I can't change, 'cause it's out of our hands. It's out of our hands. But we live like we're never gonna die. Die like we never really lived. Die like we never really. We die like we never lived. We die like we never lived. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, we spend too much time thinking way too far ahead. We should be living our lives and take it day by day and stay, because it's out of our hands. It's out of our hands. But we live like we're never gonna die. Die like we never really lived. Die like we never really. We die like we never lived. We die like we never lived. for the chorus, we live like we're never going to die and die like we never lived. If I'm not mistaken, I read it on Scott Booker's wall, the gentleman videotaping over to the left. If I'm not mistaken, that was up on his wall.
How you doing?
And I traveled, not last summer, but the summer before, I actually traveled just aimlessly with a gentleman who goes by the name of Tate Avon, and basically just kind of randomly traveled across the country with no real plan, just kind of did it, just went for it. Kind of in a practice to get more into that, not waiting to live, which I think a lot of us, we tend to subscribe to, and it gets more, the momentum picks up more as you get older, because you tend to have this idea of, well, I'll be happy when this and this happen, I'll be happy. But every time you set that goal, generally I find, I achieve said goal, and then after a while the happiness kind of fades off and I'm on to the next goal, this momentum, which I'm certainly not at all saying you shouldn't aspire, but you shouldn't obsess either. Aspiring to achieve a goal is accepting that it may or may not happen, but you're going to go for it. Obsessing is when you've made that goal part of you, and if you don't succeed in that goal, a part of you dies, and then you're not really productive anymore. And generally, when you obsess about goals like that, you tend to sabotage your success because you're so concerned about details that you're not really seeing what's going on anymore. You're seeing it through closed view. You're not seeing the whole spectrum anymore because you're so obsessed with achieving this obsession as opposed to aspiring. When you aspire, you work, you do the things you need to do to get from point A to point B. When you obsess, you make up imaginary details, and generally you sabotage your own success. I'm trying to think of any good examples right now, but I mean, we all know somebody, I'm sure we've seen that happen where someone was so set on a goal, and because they were so set, they got crazy. They went totally nuts and weren't able to achieve it. Even with something simple, like, I don't know, for example, eating. Okay, here's an interesting example. We all eat, yes? Some of you guys left for lunch. I know that so I guess those guys that ate left already. But I imagine you guys eat. You look like you're all living humans, Nourishment's one of those important things. So anyways, I have a theory I call starvation for love or starvation for acceptance. And people, again, with that waiting to live thing, they kind of starve themselves. They're waiting, when this happens, I'll be right, I'll be accepted, I'll be loved. So they keep starving themselves. And when they achieve that first goal, it's not enough. Kind of like if you haven't eaten all day, and you go home, you're like, I'm so hungry, oh man, there's chips and sandwiches and cake and blah, 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 and you go nuts. And you can't decide which one you want anymore because you're so crazy because you starved yourself for so long. And you can't pick which one. You're like, man, do I want this one, do I want that one? So then you try to cram them all in and your stomach hurts. You're like, oh man, that was too much. And then you don't achieve your goal. Your goal was to eat food, be full, and not worry about being hungry anymore. What ended up happening was you sabotaged your goal because you got obsessed with food. Because you're like, I've been starving all day. And that's kind of what happens. We kind of starve ourselves. We kind of say, one day I will. One day I will reach this happy place. The truth is, if you're going to reach it, you got to find, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. You've got to find a way to make the things you're doing now be the things that make you happy. And the more you do that, the more you'll be able to see other opportunities appear, and you'll stop believing in luck. You'll sort of, as Tony Robbins says, there'll be preparation and opportunity. Luck will disappear. And you'll just be kind of doing your thing and being a happy guy. So back to that maybe one day mentality, I have a song called Maybe One Day. And you can guess probably what that's about. And back to what I said earlier, the die like you never lived, live like you're never going to die. That's what happens when you keep pushing things into the future. The fact is, no one knows when it's your time to go, so why waste your time projecting into the future all the time? You never know. We're fragile things. It doesn't take a lot to take us out, so why waste that time between now and then, waiting to live? Why don't we just live now? That makes sense. So anyways, that's the idea of that song. This song's called Maybe One Day, and I think the title says it all. This is more again about a person that imagines that it's the perfect relationship that's going to make them happy. And anybody that I've ever met that thinks it's the relationship that's going to make them happy, generally it works for a little while, but then it falls apart. Because if you can't be happy on your own, you can't be happy with anybody. Which is kind of perhaps cliche at this point, but it certainly seems to be true. I'm bound to be a long lost friend. I'm bound to be forgotten. I'm bound to be a photograph. I'm bound to be a character in a story about me to a new friend. change my life. But then I found that there was no such thing. But then I found that there was no such thing. I don't mean to sound jaded, but it's true. Oh, but I was a fool. Oh, but I was a fool. Oh, you're going to learn. People seem to me to learn the hard way. But back then I was dreaming, maybe one day that we would fall in love, a perfect romance like the movies that everybody dreams of. Maybe one day, oh baby, one day, love becomes a means to an end. It doesn't take long till the answer is the cause of all your problems. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long. But I was dreaming maybe one day that we would fall in love, a perfect romance like the movies that everybody dreams of. Maybe one day, oh maybe one day, one day, one day. Cool, that song's called Maybe One Day. So let's look at some of those lyrics. My favorite lyric on that song is the bridge. When love becomes a means to an end, it doesn't take long till the answer is the cause of the problem. Now, I'm not picking on love here. This is actually true with most things. Like I said, when you turn something into, when this happens, I'll be happy, generally, with that, it's a momentum. When you keep that mentality of, I'll be happy when, you'll never break that cycle. So you'll always be trying, happiness will always be a goal in the future. Always, you'll always be pushing ahead. And the trick is, and I'm not making any claims that I've mastered this, but I do try to make an effort to be happy where I'm at every moment. Because A, I don't know when I'm going to be gone, and B, I'm here, I have no other option. Why complain? Why waste time? Why be used by time when I could use my time? That makes sense. And also earlier there was a song I played where I said, where this line came up. What you love one day becomes the burden. Let the burden be what sets you free. And again, I feel like those lyrics might give the impression that I'm picking on love. That's certainly not the case. But that line has a quality about it that's kind of not upbeat upon first listen, that what you love is going to become the burden and nothing works out, blah, blah, blah. That's not really where I'm headed with that. It's the idea, again, that when you keep pushing, all right, when I have this, I'm happy, eventually it's a burden. When you realize that everything you love, if you're basing it on not real love but addiction, and when I get there, when you make it that kind of a goal, it's always going to turn out badly. You're always going to eventually search for the next thing. And again, I'm certainly not saying you shouldn't aspire. Aspiring is good. Obsession is not. And there's a difference. And the difference is when you're unable to realize that all the things you love keep becoming problems. When you don't have the realization, it's because you're obsessed. You're being so used by time, you can't even really see what's going on. And that's what I mean by those statements. I'm not referring even to romantic love, just, loving things, loving your shoes, loving a television show, loving lizards. Whatever it is that gets... Turtles, I'm sorry, turtles. Loving turtles. Whatever it is that, gets you going. But when you're used by time, it's even harder to start loving things. And certainly, as a musician, one thing I run into a lot is drugs and drug addicts. And what makes a drug addict that I've seen out of all the people that have become full-flown drug addicts, whether or not they know it or they're realizing it now and having trouble with it, is that they forgot how to use time. And all of a sudden, their means of using time was taking drugs. Which, may have its place, but ultimately, even that, like everything else. Do I do drugs? Have I ever done drugs? I don't think this is allowed in school. I don't think that's the answer is allowed. But anyways, back to where I was. That's not what I have done and haven't done isn't really the point here. And I'm certainly not going to lie. Huh? What I realize is this, is that you make yourself happy. again, guitar playing I like, but it's not the guitar that makes me happy. The guitar reminds me about why life is good and why I should be happy all the time. And again, back to what I said earlier, you know, what really messes people up is when they, all of a sudden, and this isn't just drugs, this is any activity. When you make the activity saying, this equals happiness, I need this to be happy, you're going to create a really bad mental habit. And you're going to become addicted to whatever it is. And soon, not very long, it's going to destroy you more than it's going to help you. The things that make you happy, realize all they're doing is reminding you that happiness is actually all over the place if you take the time to look. Which might sound crazy and a little insanely upbeat, but I arrived at this conclusion by experiencing quite a few non-upbeat things. So right now I'm going to play a song for everybody, speaking of drugs. Yeah. We got 1 minute? Okay. Alright. I guess, alright, in that case I'm going to skip that. So yes, any questions about anything in this last minute?
Play us a Beatles song on our extra.
Beatles song? I don't really know it. I can hack it. Places I remember, some have gone, some remain. There's a minute that I don't know the words to this. Something that will think about you. The people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. Thank you very much, guys. And I love you. So much more. Guys, thank you very much. You were great. I really appreciate listening. Thank you. Hopefully something useful came out of this for you.
Oh my God.
You want hair, right?
Definitely be back, because I can't
This is good. This is good.
Yes.
I can like spin it on, and I'm like, you know where it should be? Like, I don't belong here.
Oh, yeah.
No, I might just do that.
Oh, that's right. You gave me
We love that.
I'm still looking
We
forward
heart
to
that.
having
Can we make like t-shirts like this?
I'm looking forward to having that.
No, I love cafeteria lunch.
No, you don't.
I love it in the way that I know it's not good. You know?
Who's this girl that
Yes.
I know.
Oh.
Can you play?
I'm good for it.
Cool. Good job. Good stuff.
We're all like, do you have tasty cakes?
Yes.
Sweet.
She gave it to me. She's awesome.
Hey.
You can see that?
You will right here.
Okay, sure. If that's what
Sign
you
that on the blue.
Sure, it'll work. Why not? Let's see.
Try it.
It's an experiment. We'll find out together. Works kind of legible, yeah. It works. I'll draw the picture because my handwriting is really awful.
Picture's cool.
What do you see like a resemblance look?
That's how you know. 'Cause there's no, this isn't English. I don't even know what this is. This is my best attempt at cursive, but it's not very good. So at least the picture will be like, oh yeah, that's right. I must have.
Everybody's joining the bandwagon.
No, you guys are already members of the band. I'm just reminding you.
Well,
I
not
got
the
it.
wagon.
You got a Gmail Wednesdays?
This with you?
My MySpace got fished, so I got
Okay.
it. No, the old one.
Oh. So I'm thinking, how many MySpace Fish accounts do you
I
get?
can feel the second starting in
Oh,
now.
that's called I'm Only Getting Older.
That.
Or Only Getting Older. I don't know what it says in the back of that.
There it is.
Oh,
It might be
jeez.
easy.
It's getting older. It's on
Change
there.
my MySpace profile.
Sure. Go ahead. Could you play your guitar? Sure. I can do all of those things, and I will.
Are you related to the kid who's really good at chess?
No, I'm not. No relation to me or Bobby Fischer. But you know what's funny is that
Your name tag fell.
You got your name
Oh, no.
tragic. Oh, that could have been painful.
Wonderland. I'm gonna do that.
Oh, yeah, Shelby has it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Has to be quick because you guys gotta get to class and stuff.
Oh, no, I got history. We can say it as long as we want.
I got whatever it's
What paper is this for?
The Sentinel.
Where do you want me to be
Sentinel?
here?
The Sentinel of First Point, Linwood, and Northfield.
Me and Josh.
Where are we going? Where are we going?
Wait, are we all getting in together?
Okay, guys, I've had problems in the past with high school kids doing inappropriate things with photos. Don't do it.
Well,
okay?
someone-
More bars and more places, I just noticed.
Can I do that? Can I go?
And you were the girl that likes quantum physics.
Yes, I remembered that. I said,
Can you move over just a little?
quantum physics guy.
If I had more hair, I'd jump in there, Matt Fisher.
I'm gonna snap a couple, so just snap.
You should come by and visit them. We're